Have you ever dreamed of stumbling upon a fortune while out for a walk? Believe it or not, that dream might be closer to reality than you think. Hidden beneath our feet, in riverbeds and streams across the world, lie some of nature's most precious treasures, diamonds, and other valuable gemstones. Today, we're going to explore the fascinating world of gemstone hunting, focusing on how to find, identify, and potentially profit from these natural wonders. Let's start with the star of the show, diamonds. These dazzling gems have captivated humanity for centuries, but what makes them so special? To understand that, we need to delve into their origins. Diamonds are formed deep within the Earth, more than 160 kilometers below the surface. They're created under conditions of extreme heat and pressure, as carbon atoms arrange themselves into a unique crystalline structure. This process takes millions, sometimes even billions of years. The result? The hardest natural substance known to science. But how do these deep Earth treasures make their way to the surface where we can find them? The answer lies in volcanic eruptions. Diamonds hitch a ride in magma that's violently ejected towards the surface through what geologists call kimberlite pipes. As this magma cools and solidifies, it traps the diamonds inside. Over time, erosion caused by wind, rain, and temperature changes breaks down these kimberlite deposits. The diamonds are gradually released and can be carried away by water currents, eventually ending up in rivers and streams. This is why many diamonds are found in what's known as alluvial deposits, layers of sand and gravel in riverbeds. Now, you might be thinking, that's all very interesting, but aren't all the valuable diamonds already locked away in vaults? You'd be surprised. Many high-value diamonds are still out there, waiting to be discovered. In fact, some of the most impressive diamonds in history were found by ordinary people in unexpected places. Take the story of the Golden Canary, for example. This extraordinary yellow diamond, one of the largest ever discovered, wasn't found by expert miners or geologists. It was stumbled upon by a young girl playing in a pile of mining rubble in the Democratic Republic of Congo in the late 1980s. Not knowing what it was, she gave it to her uncle as a gift. He, in turn, sold it to pay his rent, completely unaware of its true value. That worthless rock turned out to be an 890-carat rough diamond. After being cut, it became a 303.1-carat gem, one of the largest yellow diamonds in the world. In 2022, it sold at auction for over $12 million. Imagine if that uncle had known what he really had in his hands. This story illustrates an important point. Diamonds in their natural, uncut state often don't look like the sparkling gems we're used to seeing in jewelry stores. They can be easily overlooked or mistaken for ordinary rocks. That's why it's crucial to know what to look for when you're out prospecting. So, what does a rough diamond look like? Well, they can come in various shapes and sizes. The most common form is the octahedron, which looks like two pyramids joined at the base. They can also be dodecahedral, with 12 pentagonal faces, or even irregular shapes known as macless or twins. Diamonds found in riverbeds, known as alluvial diamonds, often have a more rounded appearance due to the natural tumbling action of the water. They might have a greasy or frosted look on the surface, and they can be transparent, translucent, or opaque. Colors can range from colorless to yellow, brown, gray, or even rare hues like blue, pink, or red. One key characteristic of diamonds is their adamantine luster, a particular type of shine that's hard to describe but unmistakable once you've seen it. They also have a high refractive index, which means they bend light in a unique way, giving them their famous sparkle. But diamonds aren't the only precious stones you might find while prospecting. There's a whole world of valuable gemstones out there, each with its own unique characteristics. Let's explore some of them. Topaz is a gemstone that's often found in riverbeds. It's typically transparent and can come in various colors, including blue, yellow, pink, and even colorless. One way to distinguish topaz from similar-looking stones is by its weight. It's significantly heavier than quartz, for example, due to its higher density. Garnets are another gemstone you might come across. They're most commonly deep red, but can also be found in other colors like orange, yellow, and green. Garnets often have a rounded shape when found in rivers due to natural erosion, and they're also relatively heavy for their size. Rubies and sapphires, both varieties of the mineral corundum, are among the most valuable gemstones you could hope to find. Rubies are always red, while sapphires can be blue, yellow, green, or even colorless. These stones are extremely hard, second only to diamonds on the Mohs scale of mineral hardness. Amethyst, a purple variety of quartz, is another gemstone that can be found in riverbeds. It's known for its beautiful color, which can range from a pale lavender to a deep, rich purple. Even in its rough form, amethyst often has an eye-catching sparkle. Now that we know what we're looking for, where should we start our search? The best places to look for gemstones are areas with a history of volcanic activity or regions known for their mineral deposits. Rivers that run through these areas are particularly promising. Often, areas near old mines or historically known prospecting sites can be fruitful, as gemstones may have been carried downstream over time. When you're out in the field, there are a few key things to keep in mind. First, always respect local laws and regulations about gemstone collecting. Some areas may require permits or have restrictions on what you can take. Second, bring the right tools. A basic prospecting kit might include a shovel or trowel for digging a sieve or screen for separating stones from sand and gravel, a loupe or magnifying glass for closer inspection of your finds, a spray bottle with water to clean off stones, rubber boots for wading in streams, a UV flashlight, which can help identify certain minerals that fluoresce under ultraviolet light. When you're searching, pay close attention to areas where the water slows down or changes direction, like bends in the river or behind large rocks. These are places where heavier materials, including gemstones, tend to settle. Look for stones that stand out from the surrounding rocks. They might catch your eye because of their color, luster, or shape. Remember, many gemstones in their rough state might not look particularly impressive at first glance, so don't be too quick to discard something that seems unusual. Once you've found some promising stones, how can you tell if they're actually valuable gemstones? There are several simple tests you can perform in the field or at home. The first is the hardness test. Gemstones are generally much harder than common rocks. You can use the Mohs scale of mineral hardness as a guide. For example, if a stone can scratch glass, which has a hardness of 5.5 on the Mohs scale, it might be a valuable gemstone. Diamonds, being the hardest natural substance, can scratch anything. Another test is the streak test. This involves rubbing the stone against a piece of unglazed porcelain and observing the color of the streak it leaves. Many gemstones will leave a white streak or no streak at all. The specific gravity test can also be useful. This involves comparing the weight of your stone to an equal volume of water. Many gemstones are denser than common rocks and will therefore be heavier than you might expect for their size. For potential diamonds, there are a few additional tests you can try. One is the fog test. Breathe on the stone as if you were trying to fog up a mirror. If it's a diamond, the fog will dissipate almost immediately because diamonds conduct heat so well. Another test for diamonds is the newspaper test. Place the stone over some small printed text. If you can read the text through the stone, it's probably not a diamond. Real diamonds refract light so strongly that you shouldn't be able to see clearly through them. Remember, these tests aren't foolproof, and they won't definitively identify your stone. For a conclusive identification, you'll need to consult a professional gemologist. However, these simple tests can give you a good indication of whether your find is worth further investigation. If you do find something valuable, what should you do next? The first step is to get your stone professionally appraised. A certified gemologist can provide an accurate identification and valuation of your find. Be cautious about selling your stone immediately, especially to the first buyer who makes an offer. Take the time to research and understand the true value of what you've found. For diamonds and other high-value gemstones, there are specialized markets and exchanges where these stones are bought and sold. The major diamond exchanges include the Israel Diamond Exchange, the Diamond Dealers Club in New York, and the Dubai Multi-Commodities Center. However, accessing these markets usually requires working with a licensed dealer or broker. It's also worth noting that the value of a gemstone isn't just in its raw form. Cut and polished stones are generally much more valuable than rough ones. Learning the art of gemstone cutting and polishing can be a valuable skill if you're serious about gemstone hunting as more than just a hobby. Now, let's address a question that might be on your mind. Is it really possible for an amateur to find valuable gemstones? The answer is yes, absolutely. While it's true that commercial mining operations extract the majority of gemstones on the market, there are numerous cases of amateur prospectors making significant finds. For instance, in 2015, a man in North Carolina found a 4.6-carat diamond while panning for gold in a state park. In 2018, a pastor in Sierra Leone discovered a 706-carat diamond, which later sold for more than $6 million. These stories aren't common, but they do happen. Even if you don't stumble upon a multi-million-dollar diamond, finding smaller gemstones can still be rewarding. Many people turn gemstone hunting into a profitable hobby, selling their finds to collectors or jewelers. Others enjoy the thrill of the hunt and the beauty of the stones they discover, regardless of their monetary value. It's also worth noting that gemstone hunting can be a gateway to learning more about geology, mineralogy, and the natural history of your local area. Many amateur prospectors find that the knowledge they gain about rock formations, mineral compositions, and geological processes is just as valuable as any stones they might find. As you embark on your gemstone hunting journey, there are a few important things to keep in mind. First, always prioritize safety. Riverbeds can be slippery, and the weather can change quickly when you're out in nature. Always let someone know where you're going and when you plan to return. Second, be respectful of the environment. Practice leave no trace principles, and don't disturb wildlife or vegetation more than necessary in your search for gemstones. In many areas, it's illegal to use mechanized equipment for prospecting, so stick to hand tools unless you have the proper permits. Third, be patient and persistent. Successful gemstone hunting often requires time and effort. Don't get discouraged if you don't find anything valuable right away. Every outing is an opportunity to hone your skills and learn more about the geology of your area. Finally, remember that the real value of gemstone hunting isn't just in the monetary worth of what you might find. It's in the connection with nature, the thrill of discovery, and the sense of wonder at the incredible processes that create these beautiful stones deep within the earth. Whether you're drawn to the sparkle of diamonds, the rich hues of sapphires, or the mystique of lesser-known gemstones, the world of gemstone hunting offers endless possibilities for exploration and discovery. Who knows? The next time you're out for a walk along a riverbank, you might just stumble upon a piece of Earth's hidden treasure. So, are you ready to start your gemstone hunting adventure? Remember, every great discovery starts with a single step, or in this case, perhaps a single stone picked up from a riverbed. Happy hunting, and may your future be as bright and sparkling as the gemstones you seek.